So Thunderbolts asterisk, here's something that I am excited to do. We were reading the must-read Anthony Diaz for Disney D'Alessandro deadline Sunday right through, must-read every week. And he did bring up my favorite thing, that Thunderbolts asterisk has a huge promotional partner campaign.
Okay, here we go.
So
this is your favorite thing.
It is
Just
my
so everybody
favorite
knows,
thing.
This is your favorite thing.
I love corporate synergies, partnership opportunities, amplification of brands. I love seeing that out in the wild. And this is great for movies. Movies need to partner with very popular brands that are on supermarket shelves while we still have supermarket shelves with anything on them.
Yeah.
You know, get your partnerships in now.
Yeah.
Before there ain't Wheaties boxes to put your promotion materials on anymore. So do that fast.
Yeah.
You know, I would say Jurassic Park comes out in June, early July. Iffy, but there'll probably be stuff on shelves where you could put dinosaurs on.
Yeah.
I'm not as I'm not as bullish on the August releases. You know, Naked Gun having promotional partnership opportunities. Shelves might not have anything on them.
Absolutely. Naked shelves.
Naked shelves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but right now, Thunderbolts, a lot of partnerships. So they were looking for brands, and I love this, that Anthony D'Alessandro says that the intent was to partner with brands that aligned and mirrored the irreverent, edgy, and fun nature of the movie.
I wonder what those could be.
So these are irreverent brands.
Okay.
They weren't just going for stodgy brands.
Yeah.
These are not your grandparents' brands.
These brands are having a laugh.
These brands are having a laugh.
So I bet you these brands have really funny Twitter accounts.
I'm sure they do.
They're so sassy.
I'm sure they do. Because these brands' Twitter accounts are taking the piss.
They're taking the piss.
They're taking the piss. So Tide is one of those irreverent brands. They did a situation where there was collateral stains, you know, because there's a lot of chaos in these Marvel movies, collateral stains.
Yeah.
And Tide was able to get these stains out.
Yeah.
From even what the Thunderbolts are going through.
Isn't that what happens at a strip club sometimes when you get lap dances?
Collateral stains.
You can get collateral. That's what I tell my partner. Oh, it's a collateral stain.
Yeah, it's a collateral stain.
Yeah. It wasn't me. I was just next to it.
And then your partner is, well, why didn't you use Tide?
Yeah.
I saw it in a brand partnership with the Thunderbolts, and they get out collateral stains.
And I'm like, get off my ass.
Yeah, you have to go there. Yeah. It's got to end.
It's got to end. I'm not going to keep going down this road.
No.
I told you. I told you what I told you.
Yeah. So
believe me or don't.
Exactly. Don't start bringing in movie commercials to use against me.
Against me?
Against
a
him.
BO boy?
No, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Harley Davidson. Now, this was Harley Davidson's largest cinematic collaboration to date, which is that amazing to you? I mean, Harley Davidson has been one of the great American brands for decades.
Yeah.
Since the Easy Rider days. And there's
a Harley Davidson in the Marlboro Man, right? How is that not a huge...
But it was probably not an official collaboration.
Okay. What about Old Hogs?
Wild Hogs? Because there's Old Dogs and there's Wild Hogs. And I think Wild Hogs, I don't think that was an official collaboration. They might have just been on Harleys, but it wasn't a brand partnership. It was just a happenstance.
Yeah.
So this is, maybe that was a collaboration, but this is bigger.
Yeah.
The Thunderbolts collaboration with Harley Davidson was bigger. There was the 2025 Pan America ST bike was placed in the film. And then there was in-dealership support and an editorial feature for their exclusive magazine with interviews of stunt professionals from the Thunderbolts. So
wow.
Harley Davidson's official magazine was promoting this movie.
Yeah.
You're from the Stacks. You're plain Billy Earth Dog blood in you.
Yes.
Are there relatives that you have or people that you remember from back in the day that you got away from as quickly as humanly possible?
Yes.
Do you think that Harley Davidson magazine reached them and let them know about the Thunderbolts?
I would have to think that I have multiple uncles who are subscribers to Harley Davidson magazine.
It's all they read.
Yeah.
It's the only thing they can read at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they read exclusive interviews with stunt professionals from the Thunderbolts.
Great.
Yeah.
Or they wrapped fish in them.
Right, but you would think that
They'd read it first.
they'd either read it first or even subconsciously the words would wash over them right before they wrapped that bass.
Or they're out hunting
Right.
and they had the Harley Davidson magazine in the outhouse
Mhm.
and totally forgot to get toilet paper. There's no toilet paper on the shelves, so they had to use the stunt performer interviews to wipe their tushies.
Okay.
That's also possible.
So I thought you were going down the road of they read them while they were squatting. You don't think they read them, they only had them by their side as
No, the magazine was there for reading material, but they might have forgotten to bring a roll out because that happens.
Got it.
And then what are you going to do? You're not going to, crab walk back to the main cabin. You're going to take the magazine, you're going to do what you have to do with the magazine.
Right. So that's a great brand partnership, getting those Thunderbolts interviews in Harley Davidson magazine. Wheaties. I mentioned it earlier as a product that probably will not be on shelves in a few months. Disney and Wheaties create a first-of-its-kind limited edition Wheaties box, and you see all the Thunderbolts on this Wheaties box like they're an Olympic medal team.
Yeah.
It really showcases them as a team.
Yeah.
I love that. And in addition, this is great. This is like double synergy here. Popcorn boxes at the premiere were emblazoned with the Thunderbolts image from the promotional Wheaties box.
Do you think people were confused and thought they were putting their hand into a box of Wheaties?
It's a good trial balloon.
Yeah.
To see, I hope that there were psychologists watching the reactions of people at that screening to see if A, they were confused, and B, if they were hopeful that there would be Wheaties in that bucket.
Yeah.
Because then you crunch the numbers, you analyze the tape, and you say, you know what, maybe we should be selling Wheaties at these movie theaters.
Yeah.
People are getting healthier. Wheaties is healthy, or is it poison? I don't think I've ever eaten a Wheatie, to be honest. It never appealed to me as a kid.
You never had Wheaties?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, for us who now live in New York City, greatest city in the world, and have different sorts of diets, it's garbage. It's trash.
Garbage.
It's poison.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the country, it's as good as it's going to get.
Oh, it's the healthiest thing.
It's the healthiest thing that is
possibly
available.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's get into movie theaters. Let's
Yeah.
get Wheaties, as long as they have Wheaties box images on the popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
I guess, though, if you were selling Wheaties full time at movie theaters, you should sell them in a Wheaties box rather than a popcorn bucket.
Yes.
That's what because we don't want to fully make people go insane.
Well, then you're opening Pandora's box as to anything could be in this bucket. It's a popcorn bucket for a reason.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why it's called a Wheaties box.
Yeah.
You don't open up a Wheaties box and have popcorn in it.
Right. Though it may be healthier if there were.
Yes.
Because Wheaties are poison. To us. But the rest of the country, healthiest thing that you're going to have in your diet.
I mean, I ate greens before we did this. You're going to eat greens after we did this. And when I say greens, there's going to be a lot of people in the country that are going to be like, what are you talking about, slime?
Right.
This guy ate goo?
Right. No, we're talking,
greens.
Yeah. Primo greens. So Wheaties, that's huge. Mike and Ike. Now, we talked about this because we had a emailer tell us about...
Did we read that email on the air? I don't believe we did.
We did not read that on the air yet.
I think you need to read that email.
Okay, well, I'll talk about the brand partnership. Maybe if you want to look through our email.
Well, I don't have access to the email on my phone.
Okay.
So that's the problem. So you're going to have
access. When you say you don't have access to our company email address on your phone.
Yeah.
You just mean you have not written down the login information that I've sent you several times over the years.
No, I have.
Legally, you have access.
I could right now on mic to the camera say the password and the email address, but I won't because then people will hack us.
Yes.
But I want you to trust me.
And then planes could be falling out of the sky. Yeah.
Be careful. Be careful. You can't even joke.
You can't even.
You can't even joke.
You can't even have a laugh
because, but I don't have it in my Gmail app.
Okay, can't be done. Can't be done.
I mean, I guess I could do it on my DuckDuckGo.
Okay.
But
Mike
then we're both staring at our phones.
Listen, that's what we did before, and people loved it.
They did.
They
love the double Google.
Yeah, if you go through the minute by minutes, the ratings of this episode, that double Google, I guarantee, was a big spike. A lot of people tuned in, changed the dial, tuned in for that moment when they heard that it was coming. So Mike and Ike hosted a branded road trip activation featuring custom wrapped trucks that visited 80 plus colleges around the country. Students received co-branded product. So people were getting Mike and Ike's, and they were getting entered into raffles for Mike and Ike sponsored prizes, Fandango movie ticket giveaways. Yeah, we did have an emailer who I do think we might have read this on air, but we did have someone write in that on their campus, I think, they were at one of these Mike and Ike events, and they ended up with some Mike and Ike's, I think. They didn't end up with a big cash prize. But I just love that Mike and Ike is getting into the game in this way, because I feel like Mike and Ike is one of those concession treats that we reference a lot because it's just got that great name.
Mm-hmm.
But you do love to see them putting their money where their mouth is, getting the product out there, partnering up with big movies like Thunderbolts.
Yes.
Because they could partner up with a smaller movie. Mike and I could have done an amateur partnership, with the amateur.
Yeah.
But they went big. They went to a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Which
is basically saying, hey, we are a big boy candy at the level of a Skittles or an M&M's.
Yeah, I mean, but, they didn't do Sinners, which would really been something special.
But that would have just taken so much foresight to predict that Sinners would be the bigger movie.
Yes.
The safe bet is a Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
That's going big. Sinners is, there just would have had to been a genius box office prognosticator in the Mike and Ike organization to say, hey guys.
The Billy Bean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they went big.
Candies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I applaud Mike and Ike's for getting in the game with a Marvel movie.
Yes.
It's a big D-wagon move.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you got to do sometimes when you're making multicolored candies.
And I wonder what their tweets were.
They were probably edgy and irreverent.
So
if you want to get in the game with these Thunderbolts brand partnerships, you better bring it, and you better be edgy and irreverent on social media.
If you want to compete with Steak-umm and Wendy's, who was given what's her face, Perry, Katy Perry, the business about going into space. Oh my gosh,
they wished death upon her.
They did. They wished that she would die in the cold vacuum of space.
It's irreverent.
It's irreverent. It really is.
It's
to wish death on an innocent person just for doing something that is sort of cool, actually, going to space.
Well, listen, a lot more people know what's on the Wendy's 99-cent menu because of those edgy tweets.
Absolutely.
Of course, by 99-cent menu, we mean $11.50 menu.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So let's see. LinkedIn and Marvel and Disney leveraged the Red Guardian limo service content piece to reinforce their message to job seekers and professionals. So LinkedIn is getting in on the game of brand partnerships with Marvel.
Yeah.
Very interesting, because are LinkedIn the edgy job search brand at this point? It's not monster.com anymore.
No.
They are no longer
well, yeah, they're irrelevant in the sense that I think they're a porn site.
Okay. Oh, it's monster something else.com.
Yeah.
So okay, they're a porn site, so they are by default the most edgy. Of the job.
Well, it's about edging.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much going on at Monster these days.
Mm-hmm.
But Career Builder, Jobs.com, they didn't get in on this.
Well, Jobs.com is porn now too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, they should have been from the beginning once they registered that domain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, LinkedIn getting in on this. There's a Red Guardian limo service that I guess you could apply for a job for.
Well, there was a spot of him doing a bad sort of infomercial thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is there a chance, though, that was a brand partnership gone wrong? Because fortunately, it seems like there's going to be a lot of people using LinkedIn, other job-seeking services these days, and using jobs.com and other porn services.
Yeah,
because they have more time in their hands.
Yeah. Well, they'll go to those when they're depressed because they went to LinkedIn and couldn't find a job. So they're like, I guess I'm just going to relieve this tension somehow.
Yeah, I'm going to watch something on jobs.com.
Yeah.
So the people who went to LinkedIn, they saw this Red Guardian limo service post. I'm sure there are people who sent their resumes in.
Oh, 100%.
And the reply they probably got was showtimes for Thunderbolts asterisk.
Yeah.
Does that turn people off? Do you think that's an effective way of getting people in the theater, is that they were just the subject of mass layoffs? They need a job.
Yeah, they're desperate.
They're desperate. They apply for a job at a limo service.
And they're like,
previously they worked at the, National Institute of Health.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
now they're like, I hope I can drive a limo.
Or clean a limo or whatever Red Guardian is looking for.
Absolutely.
And they do that. They send off their resume that is like, ran this agency, did all this. Now can I clean your limo for a superhero who now owns a limo service? And they get a reply back of just movie showtimes. Do you think they're more or less likely to then go see that movie?
I would think it's demoralizing and it'd be less likely I'd see the movie.
Yeah. I agree. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who were looking forward to Thunderbolts as a diversion for what's going on, that they got laid off. But all right, I'll go see. I kind of like these superhero movies. I'll go see this movie. When you get the reply to a job application that says, oh, this was a fake job.
Yeah.
But here's showtimes. You're probably getting someone who would have seen the movie who now won't.
But here's a possible Cinderella story where, this person applies for the job, realizes it's fake. They have a good sense of humor about it because these brands are irreverent. They're taking a piss. You have to understand that all of these brands, they're on Twitter wishing death on celebrities.
Right.
And that's just fun. It's just good internet fun.
Right.
And so they're like, oh, they're taking a piss, they're having a laugh. I'm going to actually go to the theater and I'm going to see this film. And when they're at the theater, maybe they see Thunderbolts, or on their way to see it, or their way out, and like a harried employee is like, CJ screening. One of the other ushers called out sick.
Yeah, another one got trampled and a CJ
Popcorn's everywhere.
Chickens running around.
We need someone to help clean up the theater.
Right.
And this unemployed person says, how about me? Hire me.
How about me?
I'll clean up after the CJ screenings. I'll take the uncooked chickens home with me.
Right.
And have meals for my family.
Right.
I'll take that popcorn and I'll shovel it.
Right.
Because I am somebody who needs a job and I'm willing to work.
I used to be a director at the Board of Education, and now can I clean up popcorn from a CJ screen?
Yes.
Because I need something.
Because this is where we are as a country.
Yeah.